Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits. Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime review of Shokugeki no Soma Season 2. Okay, so, we get to see everybody's individual dish in this episode. But at the end, if you watch after the ending song, if you haven't watched after the ending song, I recommend you to stop this video right now and go watch it, because there actually is extra footage after the ending song. So once again, warning, if you have yet to go see that, I recommend go see that before you continue on this video, because I don't want to spoil you. So anyways, now that that has been said, let me dive into it. So, everybody shows off their dish in this episode. We have it to where Kurokiba shows his off, we have it to where Hayama shows his off, and then we have it to where Soma shows his off, and then he lets us know at the end of the episode there's more to his dish than meets the eye, and we get to see it probably in next week's episode at the beginning of it. So, let's just talk about the individual, dishes we got in this episode. So, Kurokiba, as a dish, what he did was something that I have to say was very unique. I loved how he used the style from Alice and also used the style of his current style, what he always likes to do, and he fused those two type of cooking styles together to be able to make what he did and presented to the entire judges, to the entire people that are judging his food. Just to see how he did that, how he combined these two different styles of cooking into one, it made me happy to see how far he's probably progressed and gone as a chef throughout these episodes, but also throughout his journey through life when he was a kid to where he is now. Now, talking about what he made in general, I gotta say, out of all the dishes I saw in this episode, like when it came to Hayama's, Soma's, and then, Kurokiba, I think Kurokiba's the dish, I would say, that would be possibly my favorite. Like, that's a dish I would really love to try. Just seeing it in the bag, and when it was opened up, you just see, like, this blast of smell just come out and hit your nose, and then you see it to where all the fish and stuff is in there, all the seafood and all that. It looks so good. I just wanted to eat it right then and there, and sadly, you can't because you're watching an anime, and I'm like, fuck, I really want to try that. And one of the things I love about Shokugeki no Soma is because usually the food that is made in this series, it's actually real life food. It's stuff you actually can make, and one of these days, I really want to try something like that. I really want to try what Kurokiba made in this episode, and maybe even what Soma made. I would love to try all that. And so what Kurokiba made, if I had to choose anything I wanted to eat out of all three dishes, it would definitely be his. I wanted to eat his after seeing what he did at the beginning of the episode. So let's get off of that. Let's talk about Hayama. So Hayama's dish, he actually showcased a different set of skills that he normally hasn't shown throughout his previous, contests that he has done. We get to see how he focuses in on one spice, and instead of making it to where he mixes a bunch of spices together to make the smell just, so good to where you're just wanting to dive into the food, he only focused in on one spice. And this goes to show you something completely different that he's not done before from what we have seen, and we get to see how he's able to kind of manipulate the spice in a way to make the food just so good, and it goes to show you how he used his expertise as a chef in this situation. So we can't just, think that Hayama's a type of person that always just focuses on mixing spices together just to make something smell very good or taste good. He actually can use individual spices by themselves to be able to make the food taste even better. So he doesn't need to, let's say, use like 15 different spices, mix them together in a certain amount to make it good. He can use just one spice if he uses it right and make everything just taste so fucking awesome. So seeing what Hayama did in this episode also showcases more learning, how much he has learned from his original start as being a chef, and how far he has come, and also like his top quality stuff he could possibly make. So I love getting to see Kurokiba and Hayama's different, foods they displayed on the, this episode, just to see the individual, inspirations they got from their different dishes, made me quite happy. And it's just cool to see how you could use one certain ingredient like fish and turn it into something like that, turn it into, like this very interesting dish that's completely different from someone else's. That's the, glory of food. I mean, food, you can do so much with it. Like, you could turn an apple into something completely different. Like, let's say you want to make an apple pie, and then you want to, let's say, make an apple casserole or something. You can just do all sorts of crazy stuff with food, and I love that about this series, and getting to see the different just ways you could cook food and make it in a different way to make it taste better. I just love that. So let's talk about Soma. So Soma's, food dish, we get to see how he aged his food and how he came to his own aging process and actually did not copy everyone else. So he did learn from everyone. As we know, he was trying to ask for help. He was asking for everyone, like, how can I age this certain food? Like, you know, what type of meat should I use? Different things like that. He was just asking for all sorts of different type of, you know, ingredients or different questions of how he could age certain things. And to see how he actually came to the conclusion of his own aging process, I like that. It's like he learned just like Kurokiba did. As we saw in this episode, Kurokiba, he was able to mix his style of cooking alongside of Alice's. He was able to put both of them together to make what he presented to the judges. And then getting to see in this episode how Soma was able to do the exact same thing, but on a higher level. Because, I mean, he mixed everybody's and type of like styles into one. Everybody had their own different type of aging process they wanted to do and different ways they cook, and the way he kind of presented that, and he found out his own style of aging while using everybody else's aging style. I like that. I like to see how he kind of found his own way he wants to cook, but also you took inspiration from everyone else. So overall, when it came to the dish, once again, Soma being Soma, making a dish that really just stands out and makes you want to just dive in and eat it. I'm very curious exactly of what the hidden part of this dish is, because, you know, at the end of the episode, he hinted that there was more to it. I can't wait to see how it is in next week's episode. So besides that, not talking about the dishes, let's talk about the individual characters. So there was a lot of comedy, as always, in Food Wars. And one of the scenes that stand out to me, actually, there's two scenes that stand out to me, and it's definitely Alice's mom, you know, unbroken Japanese. That I almost killed over from laughing. Like, I paused the video because it was just so fucking funny. I had to pause the video and laugh because you have to where this character, she's introduced last week, okay? And she's just talking in this broken Japanese, like it's not a good Japanese. And it sounded realistic the way she was talking, just that's how broken it sounded compared to like the normal Japanese we hear in anime. And so when she finally eats this food, and she just starts speaking very fast, like it's extremely fast and it's unbroken, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it just shocked me, like, just to see the way she was talking so fast, and it wasn't broken. I'm like, this girl, Alice's mom, she straight up, she just reached enlightenment. That's exactly what happened. She reached enlightenment. She eats as soon, she's just starting to talk like she reached the almighty enlightenment phase of, you know, what she was doing. I'm like, yo, so she just straight up, she started speaking like she was, and I was just killing over laughing. It's like, oh my, okay, so, I mean, I'm used to the fan service, to people taking off their shirts and stuff like that when it comes to Food Wars. That's the norm, okay? But that type of foodgasm, it threw me for a loop. I didn't expect to see that type of foodgasm, especially the way she, like, literally had enlightenment in that entire scene. So that was definitely A1 comedy right there. Now, speaking of comedy, once again, as always, Soma uses references and references different series, like parodies and stuff, and we get to see what I believe to be a reference to Berserk. Now, I could be wrong. Hear me out, I could be wrong, but judging by the way the sword looked, the way Kurokiba was holding that big freaking sword, it reminded me of Guts' sword. It looks exactly like Guts' blade. I'm like, yo, that looks like Guts' blade. It really does. It straight up looks like what Guts uses in the manga. And I mean, it's a little bit different looking, but I mean, still, it was enough to let me see that I feel like that scene was referencing Guts, and also it was referencing Serpico and also Guts fighting each other. I think that's exactly what that scene was referencing, because when you get to see the weapons that each individual ones have, I'm like, yo, yeah, that looks exactly what Guts had and how the battle kind of looked like. So, I mean, I like that. I like the little references there. Food Wars always does that. I mean, they reference JoJo for fuck's sake, so we know they love doing this type of stuff. So, most likely it is Berserk. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you all feel about this week's episode of Food Wars? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.